So, it's the first episode. I'm really going to be covering two main topics in this video. Topic number one, Nadav Itzkowitz is dead, as reported by a whole bunch of AI and foreign YouTube channels. And two, Skankfest in Las Vegas, which was wild. Welcome to the first episode of Catching You Up with Nadav, a podcast about podcasts, a show about shows, content about content. And before we get into it, I would like to say that this first episode of Catching You Up is executive produced by Cap Studios. If you'd like to become an executive producer of the show, you can click the Patreon link in the description. So the day before my YMH episode came out, Tom and Christina posted the in memoriam that was played during my segment, and that made everyone think I was dead. And that's pretty fucking crazy. The reactions were all over the spectrum, and by that I mean mostly autistic. But it wasn't. No. Some people got it was a bit, but I'll tell you who didn't. AI and foreign YouTube channels. And I'm not gonna lie, it was some of the funniest fucking shit I have ever seen. It's interesting. So AI really is taking over, because I don't even know if a human made this or looked over it, or it was just they automatically scrape obituaries or things that are trending and then just quickly make YouTube videos about it. But holy shit, dude. Like, let me play you some of this stuff, because it's fucking wild.
Nadav Itzkowitz obituary. There is buzz on the social media about death news of the Nadav Itzkowitz. The news has spread rapidly among the fans as various sources verified the death of the producer. Nadav gained widespread recognition for his role in producing the Your Mom's podcast. Nadav Itzkowitz was the producer of the YHM Studios. Tom's statement that Nadav is no longer with us was something like shock for the fans. He began his production career with LXTV, NBC Universal in 2008.
Holy shit!
Nadav Itzkowitz's professional career.
That's actually
Nadav
accurate.
Joined as a producer to the YHM Studios in 2016.
Also accurate.
Prior to it, he was working as assistant editor to Digital Kitchen Company.
Also accurate.
He used to put in a lot of effort to ensure that every work environment is enjoyable. Nadav Itzkowitz.
Where the fuck did they get that line from? What? Nadav would put in a lot of effort to make sure everything was enjoyable. They might have scraped that from my LinkedIn profile. I think they scraped that from my LinkedIn profile, because that's where they got the other info from. Holy shit. Whoa, this is fucking wild. The
Nadav Itzkowitz's death news has been verified by the sources on the Facebook and Twitter.
The Nadav Itzkowitz death has been verified by sources on the Facebook and the Twitter. No, it wasn't. I mean, actually, you know what? I guess Tom posting in memoriam is verifying that I'm dead, you know?
We still not confirmed the death news of the producer, as no official production house or studio had confirmed his death news. Family members and close friends will soon drop an official statement on the news soon, so keep patience.
How would they know that close friends and family members will be saying something soon? There's no way that they've reached out to anyone. That's fucking... So first of all, first thing I'd like to report, AI is getting fucking nutty, dude. That whole thing was put together by a robot, and it wasn't even that far off. And now... this is the last one and my favorite. This guy is just locked up in a room somewhere reporting on celebrity death news. Like, I've seen his channel, and it's literally he's coming out with shit like multiple videos an hour. He's just like, this celebrity died. These are the sources. But hearing this guy say my name like 1,000,000 times in 1 minute is one of the funniest fucking things. Here, listen to this.
Welcome to everyone in this video. Update and share with you is Nadav Itzkowitz dead. What happened to the Nadav Itzkowitz of Your Mom's house? Is YMH Nadav Itzkowitz producer dead?
He's pronounced it differently 3 different times now.
What happened to the Nadav Itzkowitz dead? Nadav Itzkowitz died.
4 different times.
Nadav YH Studio. What happened with him? Before start the video, please subscribe on Nadav Itzkowitz YMH death hoax on Tuesday, September 19, 2023. So reports regarding Nadav Itzkowitz apparent death surfaced online. Nadav Itzkowitz apparent death
He's getting more confident.
news is viral on whole social media platforms and asking questions to determine the truth of the current compilations. However,
Wow.
till now, no precise information about his death have been revealed. This is a totally unconfirmed news.
This is totally unconfirmed news. God damn. Well, I have good news, guys. I'm going to be isolating every single one of these saying my name, and I'm never going to say my name. These guys will be saying my name for me moving forward. Hold on, I gotta find one. Hey guys, what's up? Welcome to Catching You Up with...
To the Nadav Itzkowitz
Shit. Well, guys, I would like to confirm the news.
to the Nadav Itzkowitz
Is not dead.
to the Nadav Itzkowitz
Is very much alive and creating content on YouTube for free. So that's that. Nadav Itzkowitz is not dead. So the next day, the episode comes out, and, you know, I'm seeing the genuine reaction from fans, which is really touching. And, you know, all these comics start calling me, and they're just like, hey, man, just checking in, making sure everything's okay. But the funniest thing to come out of this, that day, the episode drops. And Brian Simpson calls me. He goes, hey, man, just calling to check in, making sure that you're okay and everything's all right. I'm like, oh, that's very sweet of you, Brian. I appreciate you doing that. And, you know, we just kind of exchanged some pleasantries. And he's like, cool, man. Like, keep me posted on what you're doing and, you know, let me know if you need anything. I was like, thanks, man. That's very sweet of you. Hang up. And then 5 seconds later, I get a notification that says Brian Simpson has commented on a post that you're tagged in. And I hit the notification, and it just takes me to his comment, and it says, I've been trying to get this fucker fired for years. And I laughed so fucking hard I almost threw up. And now to get on to the next topic of our report, I went to Las Vegas last weekend for Skankfest. And for those of you that don't know, Skankfest is a comedy festival that is put on by Gas Digital, which is owned by Louis J. Gomez and Ralph Sutton. They put out so many podcasts. They put out Dave Smith's Part of the Problem, Real Ass Podcast, Legion of Skanks, which is their flagship show, Sex, Drugs, and Rock and Roll with Big J and Ralph Sutton. So many podcasts. And actually a lot of podcasts that you like and have blown up originally have come from Gas Digital. The Tim Dillon Show at one point was on Gas. Are You Garbage at some point was on Gas. And I've been a fan of Legion of Skanks for years now. What's great is that they put on this festival called Skankfest that's been going on for the last 7 years. I've never been to one. I've heard great things. So I decided to go check it out. The festival started on Thursday at a bar. There was a lineup of all these incredible comics. Dave Smith went on, Ari Shaffir went on, Big Jay Oakerson went on, Rich Voss went on. So many killers. And what was funny was Ari Shaffir's entire set, because Big J was going on after him. And Big J does a lot of crowd work. So for about 10 or 13 straight minutes, Ari is training the audience to not laugh at Jay's jokes or participate in his attempts at crowd work. And he's like, all right, fuck it. Here comes Big Jay Oakerson. So Big J comes out to a lackluster applause. And he goes, all right, guys. And he just starts talking like Skankfest is crazy. And he's like you, where'd you come from? And the person's just like, nope. Not good, man. Move on. He's like, what? What's going on? And then everyone just starts booing him. And he goes, what the fuck is happening? He's like, I have no idea what's happening. And then he puts two and two together. He's like, oh, Ari did this, didn't he? And then he proceeds to have a great set. Fucking everyone crushed. It was a crazy kickoff to Skankfest. The first night happened at that bar. On that Friday, it happens in the third level of the strip mall. And they essentially have 6 or 7 stages scattered throughout the third level. Like, it honestly felt like a gathering of the Juggalos where, like, on the outside, you're like, oh, this is going to be a rowdy crowd. And then you get there and you're like, oh, no, these are just sweethearts that, like, mean well and, like, want to share their drugs with you is essentially what the crowd was. And they were so respectful and so great. There's literally great shows to watch the entire fucking day. That starts at 12 p.m. and ends at 1 a.m. And then there's an after party at the Peppermint Hippo, which is a strip club. There's literally 16 hours worth of entertainment every single day and night for 3 straight days. I saw Eddie Pepitone live. I saw Rich Voss do multiple sets. I saw Big J. I saw Joe List. I saw Mark Normand. Like, that's more comedy than I probably would have seen in an entire year. But Skankfest is literally sensory overload for comedy fans. I saw the Naked Roast hosted by Zac Amico, and let me tell you, that shit was fucking wild. They mentioned at the top, hey, listen, actually, I think it was Ari that introed it. It was like, look, you guys, like, in order for this to happen, you guys can't record. So make sure you don't do that. And also, if you see anyone recording, beat the shit out of them. And granted, they say no phones, no recordings, but they don't yonder bag you. It's just honor system. And granted, there's also staff making sure that you're not recording, but, like, it really is a wild environment. And if you're a comedy fan, I highly recommend you to check out Skankfest one year. Then on Saturday was the beginning of Ellismannia, which is just silly violence. Jason Ellis is on the first floor of the strip mall, announcing / refereeing a whole bunch of wild fights. And then after that was a show called Would You Bang Him, where it was comics just came out and did a set, and then the female judges would decide whether or not they would fuck that comic. And it was hosted by Rich Voss and Bonnie McFarlane, and the judges were Jordan Jensen, Rachel Feinstein, Kim Congdon, and Ian Fiddance. So after every single set, they would go to the judges and they'd be like, well, Rachel Feinstein, would you fuck TJ Miller? Ian Fiddance is describing how he would make love to all of these comics, and it's honestly just the funniest fucking thing. But one of the highlights of watching Would You Bang Him was watching Jordan Jensen discover and fall in love with Brian Holtzman. Jesus Christ. Brian Holtzman is a goddamn animal. And for crowds that are not ready for him and don't know who he is, it is a fucking roller coaster. Because it starts off with, holy shit, who the fuck is this guy? And then as you start getting through it, you're like, oh my God, I think this dude is awesome. And then it ends with, holy shit, I think I'm in love with Brian Holtzman. What's cool about Skankfest is you don't need tickets for each show. You could literally just, like, walk into a room and listen to a couple sets and be like, all right, that was good. And then walk out and go wander into another room. I realized that I had not seen a recording of Legion of Skanks yet. I was like, well, I got to see one, and it turned out that on Sunday, the special guests were going to be Tony Hinchcliffe and Roseanne Barr. That's what was on the schedule. Violent J was brought on as a guest. Dr. Drew at some point went on stage, and it was one of the wildest episodes of Legion of Skanks I've ever heard. Just the comedy shows that I saw alone was super fun, but then everything else around it was super fun too. The hang with comics, the hang with fans, the gambling. Oh, and then on top of all of that, they also are streaming it live and are having it available online as video on demand. Incredible production value. There's honestly no reason to not watch or attend Skankfest. Such a fun fucking weekend. I'd highly recommend anyone who's a fan of comedy to go check out Skankfest. It's just a good time. And with that, this has been the first episode of Catching You Up with...
To the Nadav, Itzkowitz.
And I would like for you to subscribe, comment, like, all of this to help with the algorithm. And now I would like to thank all my producers on Patreon that are showing on screen right now, because without your support, it'd be much more difficult to pull this off. And I'd like to say thank you for supporting in any way that you can. Hit the Patreon link in the description. Please continue to watch, and I will see you next time.
This is a totally unconfirmed news.